Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a piece of hardware that's trying to do something, well, pretty ambitious. It's the F1 Pro handheld game console.
Right. And we've got a whole stack of reviews here, and the message from all of them is pretty consistent.
It's not just for gaming.
Not at all. The sources are framing this as a premium hybrid. It's positioned as both a top-tier handheld console, but also as this super compact, AI-powered Windows 11 PC.
Which is a huge claim for something that's supposed to fit in your bag.
A massive claim.
Exactly. So our mission today is to figure out if it actually delivers on that. Can it really give you desktop-level performance on the go? And crucially for you, is it worth that pretty steep price tag?
Is it the future or just a cool but maybe over-engineered gadget?
Okay, let's unpack this. What's the core promise here? What makes it different from all the other handhelds on the market?
The central idea, the real nugget here,
Mhm.
is this concept of uncompromised capability. This device isn't asking you to make trade-offs. It's for that user who wants one machine to replace their high-end gaming handheld and their ultra-portable laptop.
It's trying to be two very expensive things at once.
Exactly. And when you look at the specs, you can see why they think it can.
They're pretty startling for a handheld.
Oh, absolutely. This is what sets it apart. We're talking about the AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX370 processor,
The new one?
the new AI-focused one, plus a just a ridiculous 64 gigabytes of RAM
64.
and a huge 2 terabyte SSD. I mean, that sounds like a high-end desktop build, not something you hold in your hands.
It really does. So, okay, let's start with that physical experience. Power is one thing, but if it feels like a brick, it doesn't matter. With all that hardware inside, how does it actually feel to hold?
The reviews are overwhelmingly positive on this front. They say the build quality is just fantastic. It has this sturdy, reassuring weight to it.
So not flimsy, but not so heavy. It gives you wrist fatigue.
Precisely. They say the ergonomics are really well thought out, so you can play for hours. It feels substantial but balanced.
And what about the little details? The things that make a device feel premium.
Yeah, they call those out specifically. The matte black finish, for instance, apparently resists fingerprints really well.
Which is a small miracle.
It really is. And the button and stick layout is described as feeling, immediately natural. There's not much of a learning curve if you're used to a standard controller.
Okay, let's move to the screen. The sources call it one of the real highlights. And it has to be, right? If you're using a full Windows desktop on a 7-inch display.
It has to be perfect, and it almost is. It's the OLED panel that's doing all the heavy lifting.
Right.
So you're getting those super vibrant colors and, more importantly, those perfect deep blacks. It makes everything from games to just browsing Windows in dark mode look spectacular.
And what about motion? For gaming, that's critical.
Yep. They say the motion is incredibly smooth. High frame rates in games, streaming video, it all looks great. The one little caveat, the one downside, is reflectivity.
Ah, so it's a glossy screen.
It is. It's plenty bright for using outdoors, but in direct sunlight, you're definitely going to be fighting some reflections. A minor thing, but something to be aware of.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about that engine, the AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX370. How does that thing actually perform when you push it?
The consensus is that it's incredibly capable. It really does handle pretty much everything you can throw at it.
From games to actual work.
Yeah, intensive games, productivity apps, even some light video editing or coding. It just doesn't seem to hesitate.
And I have to imagine that massive amount of RAM is the real secret sauce here.
It's absolutely critical. That's the big differentiator. The sources say Windows 11 itself runs smoothly, but it's the multitasking that's just effortless.
So you could actually have a big game running in the background.
Exactly. Have a AAA game paused, flip over to a browser with a bunch of tabs, check your messages, and then jump right back into the game without it having to reload from scratch.
That 64 gigs of RAM just eliminates that bottleneck.
It completely removes it.
So for the core gaming experience, what does that translate to? Are we talking low settings, or can it really run modern games well?
It can genuinely run them well.
Yeah.
The summary is that most current AAA titles are comfortable at medium to high settings. You're not making huge visual sacrifices to get smooth gameplay.
Okay, and the storage. That 2 terabyte SSD sounds like a lot, but games are huge these days.
It's a really welcome feature. You can actually install a decent-sized game library and your work applications without constantly worrying about running out of space.
It makes it feel more like a real PC.
It really does. And everything feels incredibly snappy because of it. Load times are super rapid.
So, given all that power, is this really more of a mini PC than just a console? I mean, how well does it actually work as a little workstation?
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture,
Yes.
yes. The connectivity options basically confirm its status as a PC.
It has good port
A
selection.
really healthy selection of ports. It integrates perfectly with external monitors, keyboards, docks. You can plug it in and it just becomes a desktop workstation. No fuss.
That versatility is a huge part of the appeal then.
It's a key selling point.
But packing all that into such a small space,
Yeah.
what about the heat and the noise? Do the fans just scream?
You know, the cooling system does a surprisingly good job. The fans are definitely noticeable when you're pushing it hard.
So you can hear it.
You can hear it for sure. But the reviews describe the sound as more of a low whoosh and not a high-pitched, irritating whine. It never gets so loud that it's distracting, which is a big engineering win.
Okay, now let's touch on the AI part. This is new for these kinds of devices. What are those AI-enhanced features actually doing? Is it just marketing?
It's a nice touch, but the sources are clear that they're not essential to the core experience. Things like improved face recognition for login or some automated performance tuning.
So it's a bonus, not the main reason to buy it.
Exactly. A cool feature to have, but the raw power of the CPU and RAM is what's really driving the experience.
All right, we have to talk about the compromise. Every device like this has one. What's the main limitation of the F1 Pro?
It's the one you'd expect. It's the battery life.
The Achilles heel.
It really is. Under moderate use, browsing the web, streaming video, playing some indie games, you're looking at maybe 4 to 5 hours.
Which is okay. Not amazing, but okay for a commute.
Right. But then you fire up one of those demanding AAA titles that this machine is built for, and that number drops a lot. You're looking at roughly 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
Yeah. It's not surprising given the hardware it's powering, but it's definitely something you have to plan around.
So this is not a device you take on a long flight for a gaming session without being plugged in.
Absolutely not. You need to be near a power outlet for any serious high-end gaming.
So let's bring it all together. Does that whole package, the power, the versatility, that beautiful screen, does it really justify what is a very premium price point? Especially with that battery life.
The sources seem to land on a decisive yes, but for a very specific type of user.
For the enthusiast.
For the enthusiast who wants it all in one package. It's versatile enough to actually replace a small laptop for work while also delivering a no-compromise gaming experience. For that person, it's called a standout choice.
So then who is this not for? Who should probably save their money and look elsewhere?
Well, obviously, anyone who absolutely needs all-day battery life, if that's your priority, this isn't for you.
Right.
And also, I'd say people who just want a simple, straightforward console experience, this is a full Windows PC. You have to be willing to deal with drivers, different game launchers, settings, all that stuff.
So it's for the PC user who wants portability, not necessarily the console user who wants a bit more power.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay, so to sum it up, the F1 Pro is a successful, though very expensive, blend of desktop power and handheld portability. It's really defined by that gorgeous OLED screen and, maybe most importantly, that huge 64 gigabytes of RAM.
For sure.
Yeah.
It successfully blurs the line between PC and console. And that brings up a really interesting final thought for you to consider.
Go on.
As these AI processors, like this new Ryzen chip, become standard in compact hardware, they're getting so good at managing power and handling background tasks efficiently, freeing up the main CPU. So how much longer will the distinction between a handheld PC and a handheld console even matter to most people?
You're saying everything might just become a powerful, open, portable PC by default.
It makes you wonder, right? Will that line just completely disappear in the next few years? That's definitely something to mull over.